All right, fellas, we'll move on to number 2 in this division. And of course, Chad, it's your Toronto Maple Leafs. 70 points in 52 games. A rough start with the California road trip, but since then, they've been very good. And so let's get some thoughts on the Leafs.
Yeah, I mean, this team, they can score, and they're expected to score a lot. They have the most expected goals in the league, despite kind of a lackluster season from Pappy. They've gotten it from other areas, especially non-All-Star Willie Nylander.
I'm going to put that on a t-shirt, by the way, Case. I'm going to write it. William Nylander should have been an All-Star.
Every time he's brought up. Ton of high and medium danger shots for this team. Kind of that's where the expected goals come from. They're better defensively than I thought they'd be. They have the second most takeaways, but they also have the 5th most giveaways. So their games are just absolute ping pong matches. And they've gotten good goaltending, especially when Matt Murray's healthy, because then they have kind of a 1A, 1B going on. He's got to stay healthy for them, though. That's kind of the negatives I have for them is this team just needs to stay healthy. But I don't know, maybe they're trying to work some LTIR stuff. We'll see. I also have their PK as being a little bit of a letdown so far this season. And I'm just going to have to add this one because it has to be said in the same breath of negatives for the Leafs every single time. They need more sandpaper. They just need more sandpaper. So I'll just say that. I'm going to give Toronto an A, though, because a great season so far. You could make an argument for an A+ for me, but I'm going to give them an A because of that PK.
Hey guys, I'm just interrupting this video to say that if you're watching this right now on YouTube, odds are you're not subscribed to our channel. So if you're enjoying this conversation, please hit that subscribe button down below and ring the bell to be notified every time we upload. We release full-length episodes every Wednesday, and we post clips throughout the week too. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers at the moment, and we're going for 2 likes on this video, just 2 likes.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Case. I'm also saying A, and actually I was between A and A- for my team, just because, there are a few things that haven't gone 100% right for the Leafs this year. One, as you mentioned, is Auston Matthews scoring at a reduced pace compared to his Hart caliber season or Hart winning season last year, scoring 60 goals. That's an incredible pace to set, and it's almost unfair to compare him to that pace. But you know what? This is the NHL, and you need guys to contribute at that clip if they're capable of it. Matthews hasn't been there this season, but I think he's been battling a knee injury right now, and I think his shoulder's been bothering him throughout the season. So, that's fine because guys like William Nylander have picked it up. John Tavares has been really good this season, and they're getting some good depth scoring as well. So I'm not overly concerned with Matthews because we're getting scoring in other places, and because I think his 200-foot game this season has been better than it's ever been, including last year where he got Selke nominations. So I'm not overly concerned with that. But the reason I decided on an A instead of an A- was because I looked at how many points they have through 52 games this year. I calculated the pace, and they're on pace for 110 points. That would be the second best season ever in the history of the Maple Leafs, second to last year where they had 115. So how can you really say that it's anything other than an A or above when they're on such a good pace right now? You mentioned the goaltending's been good. I think so as well. They do need to stay healthy. Samsonov is 14th in goals saved above expected, has a 913 save. Murray 20th with a 911 save. The one thing I will say, though, is that the bottom 6 for me has been a bit of a problem. They're not getting a ton of production from players in the bottom 6. There's always going to be a guy like Järnkrok or Kerfoot who can give you 40 to 50 points or whatever. But I think they just need to add one more player up front, either to the bottom 6 to give you a bit more of a scoring option, or to the top 6 so that you're able to push someone down and get some more offense from the bottom 6. Those are my only gripes with the Leafs. But yeah, all in all, giving them an A. I think it's been a pretty good season for them. And I think, again, they're poised to be cup contenders as long as they can get out of the first round.
I'll give Toronto an A as well. I think that this season has gone a lot better than I expected, and I think a lot of people expected as well. And, really the only one concern that I had going into this season was the goaltending tandem of Samsonov and Matt Murray. Murray has struggled a little bit as of late. We talked about the glove hand being an issue and had some good laughs about him leaning to his blocker side and all of that. But, he's been good. He's been really good. It's been nice to see him turn it around. Clearly, he was in a situation that just wasn't working for him in Ottawa. And then Samsonov has taken an opportunity and ran with it here. I said that, if I had to pick which one would kind of emerge as the starter for whatever reason, I thought it would be the 25-year-old Samsonov. Part of it is injuries to Matt Murray, but Samsonov has looked really good in this opportunity that he's gotten with the Maple Leafs, and they've improved defensively as well. I think a guy like Connor Timmins, who we've talked about before, has given them a nice little unexpected boost on the blue line. So there actually is some depth there, and then if they want to go and add another guy at the deadline to kind of shore up that back end even more, that would be a really good move as well. And the reason why they're not getting an A+ for me, I think, is because of the bottom six, Chad. Like we've talked about, they've sort of been rotating a bunch of guys in and out. We've seen McMahon in the lineup, Simmons has been in and out, Clifford at times, and some other guys. So they have to just, get someone in there, someone like, like what Tampa Bay has had. They're always at the past few deadlines, they're looking for that solid third line player. And I think if Toronto gets one of those, then those two teams will match up pretty well again in the first round of the playoffs again this year. So no, it's been a great season for Toronto, better than I expected, and they get an A.
I could see maybe a Connor Garland fitting that role, Sam Lafferty, someone relatively cheap that can kind of slot in, give you some offense, and be responsible defensively. I think both of those guys fit that bill. Couple things, and then we'll move on from the Leafs that I just wanted to mention. One player I was worried about at the start of this season, production-wise, was Michael Bunting. He had 63 points last year, and we thought, maybe that was just a blip on the radar, and it wouldn't necessarily be easy for him to repeat it. Well, this season he's on pace for 55, which is about what we, maybe should expect going forward. I think that's where he fits in production-wise if he plays in the top six, and he brings that grit element case that the keyboard warriors love. The second thing I'll say is that Kate or Harp, you were talking about the defense and the depth that we've seen there. Toronto leads the league in man games lost this year, and they're still sitting in third place in the entire NHL. So that just shows kind of the depth that they have, mostly on the back end. I think a lot of the injuries have been to the back end as opposed to up front, but it just shows that there is some depth there, even though I would still like them to improve the top four if possible.